Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. So this epic that I'll showcase today is one of the most important epics if you're building out a clan boss team, right? It's crazy that this champion is considered more of a clan boss champion than anything else at this moment, but Seeker, the 6-star Ascension showcase that I'll do today, is one of the best champions that can enable you to get a team going to the 2-to-1 ratio, right? 2-to-1 ratio because of this fill of turn meter, and the boost of attack just does extra help in terms of damage potential. Going at a 2-to-1 ratio is an obvious why he's so good on the clan boss. That allows you to do twice the turns compared to the clan boss, and you get a cool team going. But people don't realize on how strong his A1 can actually be. Even with a 2.2 multiplier hits twice with this skill, he can actually rack up some solid damage. He boosts his own damage through this increased attack buff. He's one of the OGs, so he's meant to be a little bit weird, right? He's a defensive-based champion with an attack-based attack that he also boosts attack, right? It would have made sense if it was the opposite, if he was defensive-based and he was boosting defense, so in turn boosting his own damage, but that's how they made him. So let me show you the 6-star Ascended Seeker that will be featured right now. I won't do a clan boss run because that really doesn't make sense. Or, well, I could do something, but what I really want to show is just the power of the A1, and then switch out, of course, his blessings, because of course I have the freedom to do so. I have him currently with a Crushing Run, which I consider one of the best blessings for epics and even some legendaries, because of the every hit will ignore a percentage of the target's defense. Ignores 1% defense for every 10 levels. That is actually very, very strong on the later levels of well, basically everything, right? So if you're doing dungeons 25, you got to consider that high defense cannot only be mitigated through the defense down. You got to get those masteries in. Maybe a Cruel set, Savage set. The House Smasher is obviously very good, not so commonly used anymore because of consistency. Players are looking for consistency, but still, I'm running this today, Helm Smasher plus even Stoke to Fury, because I want to see some big numbers. Keen Strike here, single out, bring it down, all the obvious ones, and of course Ruthless Ambush running on Seeker, right? The Cruel set, the Savage set, these help with a lot of ignore defense, and of course I'm running very solid substats. I don't have Ascensions on my gear yet, and I don't plan on farming Ascensions at all, you know, go overboard with it, unless I get a champion to a +4 empowerment. That makes sense to get him to the maximum potential, right? So let me just show you what I mean by that. Let me show you what that looks like on, let's say, stage 20 with this proper setup that I have. So I have the known ones, you know, Battle Khazar, defense down weaken. I have poisons, which I give to Seeker, that boosts his damage by the number of poisons by 4% on each, plus the masteries, plus he boosts his own attack, plus an increased critical damage buff. I have everything on this Seeker, right? So what I'm looking for right now is anything above, I don't know, with the 2.2 multiplier, it's not a big multiplier to see those 300,000, and it's a single target attack. So what I'm expecting is 2 big attacks, let's say from 100,000 each. That's what I'm expecting, at least 100,000, at least. If it's under 100,000, I'll be a little bit disappointed. That was a single attack. That was a single A1 hitting for almost 200,000. So 400,000 per A1? Would that be actually Seeker's damage? Oh my god, right. So now he doesn't even have the poisons on him, so it's way less. Yeah, that's half of it. That's half of it without all those all that extra setup that I could have gotten there. So let me see if I can set this up again. So defense down. I want to see double the attack, right? So double the attack. Hopefully that will so they need to survive actually for us to have double the attack. So yeah, that extra turn actually reduced all my buffs to 1 turn duration, which yeah, 192,000. Oh my god. Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. With Crushing Rend, I don't think we can top that, actually. Maybe the spider with all those enemies. I can actually try something out, but comparing all the other, look at that, 141,000. Comparing all the other blessings I can think of right now, cruelty is also a very solid one to stack up damage onto the boss with an extra 20% ignore defense running on the boss. So right now I'll just buff everything up. And once Seeker gets his turn, we'll actually see. Okay, boom, boom. 229, 160. Oh my god. 229. That was kill streak also stacking up. So 12%. When you get 2 kills, you get an extra 12% damage. So yeah, wow. Wow. That is very solid. Look at that. 114 now. Once all the buffs run out, which is not something you want to have happen, his damage almost halves. So yeah, it wouldn't be as crazy, I would say, on the clan boss, but it's still a lot of damage. Look at that. 189,000, 214,000. Like in total, he's almost hitting for 500,000. 500,000 almost, just because of that. Look at that. With everything properly set up. It's crazy. So what I want to see is on, let's say, spider, all right? Let's put on crushing rend. Okay, so we'll run the same team with crushing rend. Then I'll switch it out to that. Forgot the name. The rare blessing, right? The rare blessing. There's one rare blessing which gives you damage, an extra 3% for each enemy that is there. So even the small spiderlings are considered enemies, like the bosses and its minions. So okay, so now we boost myself here. And then we go in for the A1 on the big spider. Boom, 142,000, 143,000. Not as much as I thought. I thought this would have been way higher. But maybe maybe this was because we couldn't get a Helm Smasher proc to land. Maybe if I can run this again, we'll see it again. Let's do a couple more runs. But this was way less than what I did on the dragon. But of course, that was because of no kill streak. So that makes sense. So here, let's see if we can get closer to 200k. 191,000, 134. Yeah, it's Helm Smasher proccing there for sure on that first hit. So if I had something more like which would guarantee Helm Smasher for me to proc, then I would be seeing you know, more consistency to that 200,000 mark. But let's go in and I'll change out Seeker right now to I won't go cruelty because this is a more prolonged damage boost where it gives you that extra 20% on bosses. So I will go for this one right here, Hero's Soul. All right, this one gives you what I mentioned before, 3% damage for each enemy. Each single enemy. Is that better than the straight up, you know, ignore defense per 10 levels? So when I was hitting on this 280, that's 28% ignore defense that I had with Seeker, plus the defense down, plus the Savage Head, plus the Cruel Set, plus the Helm Smasher. Everything adds up together, and it's not additive, it's multiplicative. So you can get over 100%. So let's see Seeker now. Boom, boom, 165,000, 146. Way less, but I want to try it again because again, it might have been Helm Smasher not proccing right there, and there's no way to see that because I also have the Savage set on already. But it's an obvious thing that Hero Soul is mostly used for dungeons and not wouldn't use it for clan boss myself. So going in again, 179,000, 169. Okay, that looks to be, yeah, way less than what I would expect from Crushing Rend, from Hero Soul, comparing it to Crushing Rend. So yeah, even so, it's like I'm comparing 10,000 less damage. Look at that, 210,000. Oh my god, that was the highest we did, right? That was the highest we did without the kill streak giving us, you know, extra damage. So what I want to see is, again, if I jump back to Crushing Rend, I'll put Seeker in the clan boss, and that's where it's going to be a little bit of fun. I want to extend his buffs, right? I want him to have as much damage as possible. He'll be boosting himself up, and maybe with, you know, a cool ally attack setup, we're gonna see Seeker doing as much damage as possible. I'm not gonna do like a proper setup, but we'll see him in like 10 or 20 turns on how much damage he can actually rack up on the boss. Before we do that, actually, I didn't test out Phantom Touch. So Phantom Touch gives you damage based on your attack. My own attack is like a 5.3k plus the increased attack buff. It doesn't get to crazy amounts. All right, so I am expecting about 20 to 30,000 coming in from Phantom Touch with Seeker. Is that better? I still don't think it's better than crushing Rend. So we'll have to see here. We'll do like a couple runs again and see if we can top that 210k, 150 and 104. But did you see those small numbers there with 43,000 and 40,000? So another 80,000 damage just through Phantom Touch. My God, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. Boom. Okay, we get all those buffs up. Increase attack. 139 and 104 plus 80. Yeah, we're looking at 180 plus. Yeah. We're looking at almost 400,000 damage just because of Phantom Touch. But it's consistent. I mean, the first hit that Phantom Touch gives you is consistent. That's always going to happen. And the second hit has a third chance. So a 35% chance, I believe, to happen, to get that extra second hit. Which is not, you know, ideal to calculate, but you get a good amount of burst coming in whenever he manages to proc it. Boom, boom. 158 and 145 plus another 40. Yeah, that's about 350. 350 without the second proc. So yeah, 400,000 with the second proc. Amazing. Amazing. When you have them fully blessed out, it gets crazy. It gets crazy, and it's even crazier on legendaries. So strong. It's the power creep in this game is getting out of hand. So I'll put on Crushing Rend back. Unfortunately, we cannot test things like legendary blessings, and we even have that secret tab of blessings. So who knows when we'll ever have the time to actually test those out. So let's see Crushing Rend and check it out on the clan boss. All right, guys, so we're back and gonna test the clan boss with this fun setup. I'm wondering how quickly we can get to the 4 key territory with this team right here. It's not optimized at all. It's all about Seeker and getting extra attacks from ally attack champions, plus the little bit of a boost from Battle Khazar's 20% extra damage when poisons are on the boss. I've got Cruelty on Farrakhan the Fat, which extra ignore defense added on top of the boss. Farrakhan also applies decreased defense by himself. We're gonna get the HP burns, the poisons, the increased crit rate, and increased crit damage. I could have run it in a different build on Seeker with less crit rate to actually get the maximum out of him, but I just want to see on how he's gonna fare right now. We even gonna have some Brimstone proccing all over the place. We have Krila with her own buffs, okay, and own ally attack skill. And of course, we're gonna have the very unique ally attack skill from Longbeard, not so oftenly showcased, but this skill actually increases the damage you deal by 20% with your default skill, and that's going to be Seeker, okay? So we're going to see some fun numbers. What I do want to change, though, the only thing that I'm going to change on Seeker is I'm going to give him this mastery right here, which is going to be methodical instead of kill streak, and maybe remove Helm Smasher, or sure, just keep it. I mean, War Master does a lot more damage, but I think, yeah, let's just stay with War Master and see his potential with that. And yeah, we're not gonna get the big numbers, but we'll see a lot more damage coming in. So here we're gonna get a stun going for sure. We need the healing just in case Battle Khazar doesn't help enough. And now, yeah, let's just go into the fight. So how many turns do you guys think? Leave it down in the comments. How many turns is going to take for us to get to that 4 key with this Seeker? I just want to see the numbers that he's going to get out once he start hitting on the boss. Once we get all those debuffs going and everything. How long does this team going to take? So there's his attack, 100k plus 100k plus War Master. Yeah, that's about 250 every time he decides to go and attack. We still don't have the weekend debuff. There it is. There's the weekend debuff. That's what I wanted to see. And we are very squishy with this kind of setup, but we're already at about 3 million damage. So I think, look at that, 3.5. Yeah, it's looking about the 12th turn that we'll reach the 17 million mark. About there, right? About there. It really depends. I just want to see Seeker doing more and more damage. As he hits more times with his A1 skill, the damage ramps up. That's how that mastery works. So he's now hitting for 120,000. Comparing that to before, that's pretty reasonable, right? We do have defense down. We have the weaken. We have the poisons. So it's about, you know, half what we had before. The poisons from Gorptuk really show how strong they can be when you don't have them, because you get a big burst of damage from those poisons. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man. Which is why I built my own Seeker when I'm building my Clown Boss team, like my Bad Eater team. I built my Seeker with a lot of damage. He needs to be specifically for the Bad Eater team, as an example, he needs to be built with 250 force speed, which is a lot. And then on top of that, getting 100% crit rate, as much critical damage, as much attack as possible, really can get rough when you have 1,000 attack as base. So yeah, Seeker is a nice one. I always use them in PvP when I started playing this game. I used them in PvP as a control champion because of that provoke on his A1 skill. That was a very solid way to apply a provoke on the enemies. He gets it quite high if you give him the right masteries as well. And if you provoke Arbiter, the enemy Arbiter or the enemy turn meter champion, that would be a very solid way to win the arena fight. And back then it was mostly, you know, epic champions, few rares in the arena, and then rarely you would see the arbiters. But right now, yeah, arena is crazy all over the place, and with all these guaranteed champions we get from daily logins like Ultimate Death Knight and now Ronda, it's a wonder on how people don't quit. So we're about that 12 turns that I guessed myself that we will reach the 17 million mark. Is that even the right amount? So you need 70.3. Yeah, divided by 4. How much is it actually that you need? Oh my god, I can't do quick math. 17.57 is around the mark where you need 17.57. Can we do that before the boss gets a turn? Oh my god, yes. I guess right. 18 million before the boss took his 13th turn. And it's not like I'm ranking up poisons or anything, but Brimstone and all that definitely helped. Definitely helped getting Seeker to where he can be. I'm just gonna let this go until people. Ooh, actually, everything started dying on the 4 key mark. I'm happy about that. Then I'm happy that at least I got that. There's no way I can reach 24 million, even though like I have the battle in there, poisoning like crazy, applying Brimstone. If I properly built the other champions and made like a solid setup, a solid attempt at this, we would have seen something nice. But it's all for fun. These showcases, like I've got more champions at 6 stars on the test server. I was lucky enough to get them in the shop, so I use up my resources here. So yeah, he did a 7.5 million without a toxic gear on, without Brimstone, just straight up damage. He did a 7.5. Comparing it to, you know, Farrakhan, who does, you know, weaken and not weaken, he does HP burn and poisons. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage just through straight up damage. Battle Khazar did a 3.4, but he's got a Brimstone. Krila is the same thing, Brimstone right there. And Logbeard, I mean, with nothing, just through the ally attacks and War Master, you get a 1.7. So yeah, very solid Seeker. I like this showcase. It was pretty solid. If you did enjoy it as well, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching. The next showcase will probably be Lanakis, the Chosen. And I had another one. I think it's on the live servers, not on the test server. On the live service, I did get a Luria very recently, so expect those two. If you did like this sort of test, if you want to see me testing more stuff, leave it in the comments so I can read it and have it in mind for the next video. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.